part of that journey is a recent book, Suneel, Eight Essential Practices for Finding Success, and it's titled Everyday Dharma. And it was of interest to me, and because I bring a little bit of baggage to the interview, that I studied for many years at Vedanta, and there would have been a lot of exposure to the Bhagavad. I came in with the word Dharma kind of loaded, like it's a Sanskrit word, obviously, and it's kind of loaded with meaning in different traditions.
Yes.
And it was really interesting to me how you kind of played with the word to make it practical and accessible, not only to Western audiences, but that's obviously where you're based, and a lot of your work, academic exposure has been. But your journey to Dharma began in India, and you kind of fuse a number of different influences. Could you tell us a little bit about your exposure to the Bhagavad Gita? I know your grandfather was a very influential mentor and guiding light for you as you were growing up.
Yeah. I mean, so I grew up in Detroit, which is in a lot of ways sort of the opposite of a place like New Delhi. And so when I was 7 years old, I took my first trip out to India and to New Delhi, and I remember I would sit with my grandfather on his porch, and he was a pretty quiet guy. He didn't say very much, but when he spoke, he really meant it. You know, he made it count. And those early days, maybe because I was sort of on American time, I was waking up super early, and I would go sit out there with him, and he would drink his chai, and we'd sort of look out at the streets of New Delhi, and we'd watch the, cows ambling through the streets. We'd watch rickshaws sort of firing up their engines for the day. I remember there were fruit cart vendors that would kind of go through the street selling selling fruit. And they're very sort of profound memories for me. But the thing that I remember the most is my grandfather pointing an Indian flag, and this flag was waving in the distance, and he described what the flag meant to me. Yeah, what was the significance of the flag. And at the center of the Indian flag is what is known as the Ashoka Chakra. So it's a blue navy wheel. And that is, the Ashoka Chakra is the wheel of Dharma. He began to explain to me what Dharma means. And, Dharma is this alignment, ultimately, of who you are and what you do. And the trick of it is that as life goes on, as you and I both know, Shay, it starts to speed up. The wheel starts to move faster and faster and faster. Each birthday that we have seems to come a little bit sooner than the birthday before it. And if you're not careful, then you will find yourself on the outside of the wheel. Life will be going by, you'll be showing up, but are you showing up with who you really are? Are those two things intact?